to even speak to last week and meet with other peers of mine and Native leaders. And I mentioned this issue to her. That this is how I can, of course, exercise my voice in this upcoming election. I just told you who I'm basically going to vote for. And it wasn't even, it's not even desecrated sites, right? Or the taking of our land. It's also, when we're just talking about the animals, like the gomshka, the turtles in this spring, they can't migrate anymore. All of these animals are being affected by this one wall, which I don't want to, of course, just bring it just to a wall, but I'm saying that there are so many consequences to what a certain candidate is saying that we really need to be cautious of and thinking about.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really good. Thank you for sharing those different perspectives, but thank you. That's really good. And I have a question for Diana, and this has to do with combating apathy. Sometimes there's a sense of disillusionment or apathy about voting in Native communities. How can we inspire Native engagement and a sense of urgency around voting?
If you weren't already inspired by what Lourdes said, I don't know what I mean, other than, blowing up stuff and, having these exciting activities and things like that. But the fact that we are making a difference in our lifetimes, in the amount of what we are doing, let me start this again one more time. So what we are doing right now is we are looking at our future. We are voting for our future. This is our future. These young ladies, and we have young men that are part of the youth council that we work with at Phoenix Indian Center. They are amazing. They are our leaders, and they are the ones that are going to be making a difference in our lives. And as we grow older, they're going to be the ones that are going to be taking over the roles of leaders and supporters, and they're going to be the caretakers for us. So this, having any kind of apathy, or it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? That's what apathy means. It doesn't really matter what I do. It does. It really, really does. The youth have a huge say in what is happening now, and their role is very, very important. And you don't think it's important, but it is, because you are the ones that are going to be determining what your future is going to be. And again, we can't say enough about voting, but when you start to vote, you're making a difference. Whether you realize it or not, you're making a difference. And yeah, there are times when the vote that I cast for the person that I wanted did not win, but I still cast my votes. I still told them that I wanted it. That's the way I wanted it, and it made a difference. It made a difference in my life. It made a difference to my daughter, who rightly votes. She does every year, or every time she has the opportunity. Same thing with my grandson. I already asked him, so what are you going to do when you get to vote? How are you going to be voting? And he's only 16. But voting is so, so important. And I don't know if we just need to put it more on social media. I imagine y'all are doing a lot of that already, but putting it on social media where folks are able to see it. There's so many things. I work at Phoenix College, and there's so many things that they are promoting there, having parties. Let's get on and vote. Bring your application or bring your ballot in. We'll help you vote. We'll help you choose. We'll help you understand some of the propositions. There's so many propositions. We'll help you understand that. If you need help, we will help you. There are people out there that will help you understand. And they're not going to tell you which way to vote. They're going to help you understand the vote. So please, please, all I can say is that to promote better voting turnout is to to understand the importance that your vote is. So I think I already covered that once before, but yeah, get out and vote.
Thank you, Diane. We're going to be wrapping up this panel discussion very shortly. I do have a question to Aiden, and that has to do with protecting Native rights. What role do you believe voting plays in protecting tribal sovereignty, treaty rights, and access to important resources like healthcare and education?
Awesome. So, again, I'm going to reiterate. We kind of talked like our vote directly ties to tribal sovereignty. Indigenous peoples, our communities, our nations, our tribes, we are our own government entities within the United States. We work directly with the feds. That's what these treaties were for. They're supposed to work with us on how to manage these lands. We talked about federal lands. That's another example of like we're stewards for that, and we're trying to reclaim our power in that area. As far as it goes with Native rights, we talked a little bit about ICWA. Our vote, I'm going to bring up the Supreme Court. You know, our vote directly impacts whoever we put in office in this next election. We'll choose at least 2 more Supreme Court justices, and there are no term limits presently on the Supreme Court. It's historically known that Supreme Court justices who are nominated by a GOP president are likely not going to support Indigenous efforts. A perfect example is in this last Supreme Court election cycle. Yes, we were able to get ICWA passed, and that was because of the grassroots efforts of our community members being vocal, using our voices, going to their offices, sending letters, calling their offices, getting petitions signed. It takes all that work and some, and our vote is part of that process. And then, again, going back to the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. We're here fighting for such a cause that our grandparents solved. It was already figured out, and these justices are caught like... Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to bring it back in. But yes, our vote does impact Native rights, our right to health care. Our IHS services are funded by the feds. Our vote impacts the people who are put in positions to grant funding for different initiatives, for our roads to be put in place, our health care, our housing. These people that we vote for will be the ones handling the budgets in those situations. They're the ones who are going to advocate whether or not we go towards green energy or continue doing drilling, like we heard from some candidates earlier today. Our vote is going to determine how we handle the climate crisis. You know, we have a lot of funding and investment to do in that situation. And I'm just really going to echo again, Supreme Court justices are the ones who define Indian country into law. And we want to have leaders in place who are going to listen to our communities and work and collaborate with one another. How are we going to handle federal lands? How are we going to handle water here in the Southwest? What kind of representatives do we want to work with that are going to ensure that our communities have access to safe health care, access to clean water, access to housing? These are the things our vote impacts on the long run. And our vote is one piece of the puzzle. Again, like these ladies mentioned, you know, it takes organizing. It takes kitchen table conversations. And then I want to add to the apathy question too. You know, there's a lot of apathy for Native youth and youth in general because we're here telling you what we need. And these representatives have not enacted the things that we're talking about as far like climate change, for example. And now's the time that we need to be in this election and using our voice to make sure that we make a turn and go towards these things that we're advocating for. I mean, it's falling on deaf ears, so how are we going to continue to make sure, let youth know that their voice matters if we're not being heard? You know, so again, like just continue talking about it. All of you who are listening today, take these conversations back home. You know, we can't reach the people who aren't here, who didn't take time out of their day to come to a town hall. It takes all of us in this collective to, you know, echo the message and educate our relatives, you know, make sure people in your houses are registered to vote, you know, take these messages, you know, have these conversations. Don't be afraid of them. It's part of our community. It's the most fundamental thing we can do to be part of our community and plan the kind of future that we want together. And that's what our vote does. So thank you.
Thank you. You know, we have all these questions, but these ladies are so responsive and so right on point on their perspectives. My last question will go to Sistine because I believe this role of technology is what we use every day. So how do you think modern technology such as social media and online campaigns can be used to engage Native youth in the voting process?
Thank you, Greg, for that question. As he had mentioned, yes, social media impacts all of us. We're all using it right now. I know we use it during work when we're not supposed to be doing it, but but a lot of the youth, a lot of the Gen Z, really, they're taking social media a lot, and they've been using that a lot to voice and put out stuff that they believe in and what they think is a big concern. And I think that's something, a difficult path between adults and the youth right now, but I think if we really listen to our youth, they know what they believe in, and they know and they see what's happening, they see the actions that are being taken, and they know by these different posts and helping share and having all different organizations as well sharing different things. It could be a meme, and they can post it, and then it'll get to our adults and our seniors, and you'll just hear it word back and forth, and you'll hear people saying, like, did you hear about this and that and this and that? And yeah, I just think, social media has been playing a lot, and it plays a lot right now, especially in the voting process as well, and getting people that don't know about the process a little bit more information on it, and getting more questions out there and getting more. So,
Thank you. Leah, do you want to follow up on that?
Yeah, I think that just to add on to what you said, especially after COVID, I think that social media became a really important tool for all of us to use. A great way to reach out to folks that might not be accessible or be able to go into these spaces. And oh my God, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I agree with what you said. And yeah, thank you.
I think we have an elder that would like to share her perspective. Diana?
While I fall apart here, yes. So one of the things that was really great. One of the things that was really great that came out of COVID was that everybody became technology savvy, right? So more people, including us elders, became more technology savvy. So we are on Facebook. We might eventually move to Instagram once we figure out what all those images are, or those things are, so the buttons. And but one of the things that's really great, though, is that, yes, it's so true. The young people are putting things out there. The young people are putting things out there on social media that is relevant not only to us, not only to them, but to us as well. And it helps us to share with them as well. So things that are important, and I get this on my social media all the time, things that are happening with the tribe. I'm from Okewenge, which is in New Mexico. I hear what's happening over there. I hear what is happening because of the social media posts. So all of that information is available. You also can find out more things about what's happening online. You can go to a webinar. You can find out more information. Take advantage of those opportunities. There's so many things that are available online that can educate you about what is happening around you and with your tribe and with the tribes that live around you. I mean, think we have 22 different tribes that live here in Arizona. All of our tribes are being affected by something or another. So just know that there is information out there, and make yourself better informed and learn more about what is happening. And you can do that, again, through social media, through the internet. Be careful of the websites that you go to, but be mindful that there are some out there that are very credible and that have great information for you to understand.
I would just like to add as well,
Yes.
the term credible. We want to make sure, right, that social media is a tool, but don't just solely depend everything off of what you're seeing on social media. You
Do
wanna
your
make
research.
Sure, exactly. Do your research. Do your own research. It's great to find credible profiles or however platform you're using, but make sure that you're not just depending on that. You can do your own research, or you can ask people or go to these communities themselves. It's just like a good balance.
Yes. I know Aiden's a communication specialist, so do you have any last words for today's panel presentation, particularly that you're a communication specialist and that's so key?
Yeah, okay. As far as social media goes, I will echo again. I'm just going to reiterate what they said. It is a tool. Social media is a good tool. It helps you get introduced to certain information. Again, there's like petitions that are there or like webinars. That was a really great mention. There are a lot of webinars out there that are easy to get a hold of to get more information. And then Lourdes, she brings up a great point about fact-checking information. There are a lot of people out there who are putting out fake information too, or things to dissuade you. If it smells fishy, you might want to check the expiration date, do a little digging, like make sure, like, I don't know, like they're really doing that? What? Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. So, there's a good balance. But yeah, I do social media, just double check where you're getting information from. .gov and .org are good links to check. .com, we'll check about it. It's a little iffy, but .org and .gov is where you can get really good information. And as far as the vote, my last message will be November 5th is the last day to vote. If you're not sure where your polling location is or you have questions, unsure, there is a portal by the Arizona Secretary of State's office called my.arizona.vote. That link is very good. It's a portal to check if you're registered, check where your polling places are. If you're not sure, it's a great place to start. My.arizona.vote. Hope to see you all at the polls. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give a hand to our wonderful ladies and for them sharing their perspectives. For our elders, we respect you. We respect your knowledge, your wisdom. Thank you, ladies, for being here, especially for braving the weather. But we're all used to this in Arizona. So again, thank you, everyone. Yeah.
How is everyone doing? Staying with us? You guys have great seats out there with the shade. That shade was here, and now it's kind of disappeared from the stage. But you know what? We're going to take a very short break, and you guys can get up and stretch a little bit, maybe move around and work out your kinks, and then come back, and we're going to have an artist demonstration and explanation of the paintings that you see here on the stage. So here's your chance to go grab some water, stretch a little bit, and we'll be right back, okay? Thank you so much.